Now, Visual Force pages. Why you are going for Visual Force pages? You already have a standard functionalities. We already have page layout, record type, search layout, a lot of mini page layout, a lot of UI components we have, a lot of functionalities we have. Then why are you going for Visual Force page? What is the need of going for Visual Force page? Now look at this. I clicked on New, created, Wipro, record is here. Again I clicked on the New. Again I am trying to create a Wipro. Save. But according to my requirement, next time when I click on the Wipro, it has to say duplicate record already exists. But on the standard functionality, we are not getting any such type of requirement. When you save it is saving, but according to my requirement, it has to say, boss, duplicate record already exists. Still you want to save or not? It should ask me a message. Now, which is not available on the standard functionality. I want to build my own functionality. Now, when I click on this delete, when I click on the delete, now what happened? Record should be deleted. At the same time, the mail should go to the corresponding customer. You are deactivated from the account. Right. When the record is deleted, I want to send an email to the customer and I want to send an SMS to the customer, but I cannot go with this. So what is it? When you want to build custom functionalities, when I want to click on the tab, I am getting this page, but I don't want the page to be like this. I want my own custom page. I don't want this custom page. When I click on the tab, I want the page to be defined in this format. I don't want to use a standard page. When I click on the page, it should be something like this. When you click on the tab, I don't want a standard page. I want this type of page to be displayed. I don't want anything on the sidebar. If you don't want anything on the sidebar, I don't want anything on the sidebar. I want the page to be in this format. So how will you implement it? Now I was supposed to go for custom pages. Now, next, I want to create one more button here. I want to create one more button. Right now you are finding new account. I want to delete mass delete so that I can select all the records and click on delete to delete the records. What is it? You want to build custom buttons. You want to modify the standard functionality. You want to create a custom functionality. You want to modify the standard button. When I click on new account, it is taking to this page. Now I don't want this page, it has to take me to another page. Now you want to modify the standard buttons. You want to modify the standard functionalities. You want to create a custom buttons. You want to create a custom functionalities. You want to create your own tab. When I click on the tab, I don't want this page, I want different page. So you want to modify the standard functionalities of a button, standard functionalities of a tab. You want to create a custom buttons, custom tabs, custom pages. Then we are supposed to go for Visual Force. When you want to build custom functionalities or when you want to override any one of the standard functionalities, we are supposed to go for Visual Force pages. What is a Visual Force? Visual Force is a framework that is used to build complex or sophisticated UI interfaces. Your Visual Force is what? Visual Force is a framework developed on course.com. It's a framework developed on course.com to build complex or sophisticated UI components or UI pages. Right. Now, what the Visual Force page will consist of? Visual Force page consists of Visual Force markup or Visual Force markup and Visual Force scripting. Now, what it is going to contain? It is going to contain Visual Force markup and Visual Force controllers. Visual Force page is going to consist of Visual Force markup and Visual Force controllers. Now, first of all, what is the Visual Force? Visual Force. It is a framework. Visual Force is a framework which is used to develop on what is the purpose of it? It is used to build complex UI pages or components. Visual Force pages will consist of Visual Force page consists of what? visual force markup and visual force controllers. Visual force base consists of visual force markup or visual force controller. What do you mean by visual force markup? Visual force markup consists of scripting elements and a visual force. Visual force markup consists of what? Scripting elements and a visual force component. What are these scripting elements? Any scripting element. Any scripting element that are supported by browser are also supported by SALESFORCE. Any scripting element that are supported by browser are also supported by visual force. Example, HTML, Ajax, jQuery, Angular, backbone.js. All the scripting elements which are supported by the browser, all of them are going to be supported by the visual force. Then we have visual force component. What are these visual force components? These are predefined components. Sorry, tags which are defined by the SALESFORCE. Visual force component. These are the tags which are defined by the SALESFORCE. It's going to be something like this. Udf Page. Like this. Some of the components are defined. Then we have visual force controllers. What are visual force controllers? Visual force controller. What are these visual force controllers, boss? When you say visual force controllers, it will specify what action should be performed, when user interacts with UI components. It will specify what action should be performed when user interacts with the UI components. Controllers are classified as standard controller, second one custom controller, and extension. Controllers are classified as standard controller, custom controller, and extension. Controllers are classified as standard controller, custom controller, and extension. What do you mean by standard controller? If you want to use any one of the standard properties of any S object, then we use custom logics, then we use effect class as custom controller. Extensions. If you want to use standard controller and a controller together, functionalities, custom functionalities together, so what we have? Standard controller, custom controller, extension. Visual Force controllers are of three types: standard controller, custom controller, and extension. What do you mean by standard controller? It is referring to the standard properties of any one of the SOP. What do you mean by custom controller? If you want to create any effects class and build your own logic. If you want to build your own logic, then we go for custom controller. What is that extension? If you want to use both the standard controller and a controller together, some custom properties, some standard properties. Some of the rules are going to be standard, some of the rules are going to be custom. When you want to make some standard rules, some custom rules, then we go for extension. Basically, VF page will consist of what? Markup and controller. Markup includes scripting elements and components. Controller includes standard controller, custom controller, extension. Where we use VF page? Where we can use VF page? Where we use to override standard buttons, pages, tabs. Used to build custom buttons, tabs on standard pages. Used to create sidebar comment. So finally, these are the uses. We are used to override the standard buttons or custom pages, standard pages or tabs. Used to build custom buttons or tabs on standard pages. Used to build custom functionalities or UI elements. Used to create sidebar components and so on. Right, boss? Let's go to the next one. What is the architecture of the Visual Force page? Architecture of the Visual Force page. So look at this architecture of the Visual Force page. So we have application server. We have a force.com platform. What was this for? Application server. User write a program. You will open a browser, write a program and save. The moment you save, it goes to the force.com. The force.com what we have? Application server, which will compile the program If the program is compiled, save to metadata. Compiled program is saved to metadata. And the same compiled program will be given back to you in the form of HTML, which will come as output. When you write a program, and save it, then it goes to application server, codes.com application server, compile the program. If the program is compiled successfully, it is saved to metadata repository, and the same program is given back in the form of HTML. If the program is not compiled successfully, error will be generated. Are you clear about the format? So this is a general structure of your Visual Code system architecture. You can have a view of this structure for understanding. Take this diagram for the understanding. So what was that? User write a program, save the program, it goes to the application server, compile the program, goes to the application server, compile the program, goes to the application server, compile the program, and the compiled program is saved to metadata repository. Compiled program is saved to metadata repository. Done, boss. Right. Let us go to the next part of the story. So let us see how to create a Visual Force pages. What are the rules it has to obey? How to create the Visual Force pages, and what are the rules it has to obey? What are the rules that it has to obey? Right now, let us see this. All the Visual Force pages, all the VF pages will have an extension of .vfp, Visual Force page. All the Visual Force pages will have an extension of .vfp, Visual Force page. All the Visual Force pages should obey strict XML format. What do you mean by strict XML format? Every opening component should have corresponding closing component. Example. If I give name, So suppose this is what opening component is called. Every opening component should have corresponding closing component. Sometimes we may open and close in a single line. I open, I also close in a single line. Toward effects. Open as well as close in a single line. Every opening component should have corresponding closing component. Sometimes we can also open and close in a single line. Video pages. Elements in the VF pages are not case sensitive. Elements in the VF page are not case sensitive. Elements in the VF page are not case sensitive. Elements in the VF page are not case sensitive. Elements in the VF page are not case sensitive. Elements in the VF page are not case sensitive. Next. Elements in the VF page should be nested properly. How they are nested? Apex. I have some apex page block. What should I do? Inner element should be closed first, then followed by inner element should be closed first, followed by outer element. They should be nested properly. Inner element should be closed first, followed by outer elements. Elements in the VF page should be nested properly. Inner element should be closed first, followed by outer elements. Every VF page should start and end with every VF page should start and end with apex page component. Every VF page should start and end with apex page component. Every VF page should start and end with apex page component. Every VF page should start and end with apex page component. In how many ways we can create a VF page? First one. Using standard navigation. How to create the VF page? We have different formats of creating a VF page. What is the first format? Using standard navigation. What is the standard navigation? Look at this. Setup, build, develop, VF pages, new VF page, create the page. Now we can click on preview to view the page. So what I'm doing? Build, setup, setup, build, develop, VF pages, new VF page, enter the page name, body and save it. What was the navigation that we had now? Setup, build, develop, enter page name, enter page name, enter what? Setup, build, develop, Visual Force pages, enter page name, enter what? These are one of the way of getting the results. Second one, using developer console. I can also create the Visual Force page using developer console. How do you create using developer console? Setup. Look at this one. What is that? Username. Username, developer console, developer console, file, new, paste. Have it. Know what I'm doing? User, developer console, file, new, Visual Force page, enter the page. Right? This is how we create. The navigation, what is this? Developer console. What do you create? Username, file, new, username, enter page name, enter what? Enter page name, enter what? Come again? So, right. So this is how we are doing. Alright, boss. This is how we create it. Third one. What is the third format of creating? Using URL. We can also create it using URL. Using URL format. We can also create using URL format. We can also create using URL format. So how do you create using URL format? When you want to create using URL format, when you are creating using URL format, how do you take it? We have here. First, let's go to the develop username. What do you find here? My settings. Username, my settings. Personal. Username, my settings. Personal. The personal, what do you find here? We go with this advanced user details. Advanced user details. Edit. Edit. Then you find here development mode. You can see here. What was this? Development mode. What do you want here? Development mode. So this. Development mode. So this. What was the format? Username, my settings, personal, advanced user details, edit, enable development mode. Enable development mode. So use static development. We enable this option using URL format. How we are creating this? First, you enable the development mode. What was the step? Enable development mode. You say enable development mode for the navigation, username, then we have my settings, username, my settings, personal, advanced user details, edit, enable development. First, you are supposed to enable this development mode. So, username, my settings, personal, advanced user details, edit, enable development mode. Then you are supposed to create a page. How to create a page? So, if you want to open any page, if you want to open any Salesforce page, it should be HTTPS, your server may be what? AP5, NA3, CS, whatever it is, salesforce.com /fn/salesforce.com/fn/pagelink. salesforce.com/fn/pagelink. If the page is existing, if the page exists, if the page doesn't exist, it will throw error to create a new page. If the page exists, it will open. If the page doesn't exist, then it will throw error to create a new page. Right, boss? What I'm doing here? Go to this page. Now we have home, fx/page 4. We'll say fx/page 4, fx/page 4. The page is not existing. So what do you want? Page does not exist. Do you want to create it? This is how we do. Here you can write your program and modify. We are writing the program on the console folder. How are you opening this? fx/. If the page exists, it will open. Doesn't exist, the folder is there. I hope you are clear with this format. I hope you are clear. This is how we are going to open the page. So, we can also create the page from Eclipse. We'll see down the line how to create using Eclipse. Using Eclipse also we can create the page. So in how many ways we can create the page? We can create the page using developer console, standard navigation, using a URL, or by using Eclipse. Right, boss. Once you created the pages, how to see list of all the pages? Setup, build, develop, Visual Force pages, you'll find list of pages. From here you can delete. The same thing if you do it from production, do not happen. On the production will not allow you to delete. On the production will not allow you to delete. That's the reason I asked you to work on sandbox. When you do the same thing on the production, Production will not allow you to delete it. You only deactivate. You will only deactivate. We cannot delete it. So, when you, this type of errors, possibilities will be finding when you work on the sandbox. Okay, that's the reason practice on the sandbox to encounter this type of problems. Okay, once I created the Visual Force pages, first element. Now, Visual Force component. How the Visual Force components are going to be? Visual Force component. What is that first one? Apex. How the component will be? Apex component name. Apex component name, attribute value, attribute value. Apex component name, attribute value, attribute value. Component name, attribute, corresponding value, attribute, corresponding value. This is how we are doing. The first thing that we are going to learn, Apex Page. This is the component. First thing we are studying, Apex Page. Open my code, the account will be able to see the things here. Look at that. How to write the comments in the VF page? This is the way to write a comments. If you want to write a comment, this is the format of writing a comment. Now, Apex Page. It's the name page. Page is the component name. Every VF page will start and end with Apex Page. Now listen, you can copy the things from the account. Every VF page will start and end with the Apex Page component. What are the attributes we have? Attributes. First, go with API version. First attribute is API version. Which version of API you are using? Which version of API we are using? Right now, what is the version of API we are getting here? Which version of API? So already we have migrated to what? Winter 18. Still the version of API is 41.2. Version of API we are using is 41.0. Now, if you don't mention any version number, by default, it will take latest version. If you want to take any old version, you will mention it. Otherwise, don't mention anything. If you don't mention anything, by default, it is what? Latest version. That will API. I want to refer to 40.0. Some of the properties which are in 40.0, they are replicated in 41.0. In the latest version, some of the old properties are not there. But I want to use that old property. Then I will say as what? API version 40.0. No boss, I want to go with the latest version only. Don't mention anything. By default, it will take latest version. The second one we have. Now, ID. What is ID? It is used to recognize the element. It is used to refer to the component uniquely. Now, we got a variable name. Why did we give variable name? To recognize the element uniquely, we are given variable name. Let us assume we have some elements like this. Input text. Now I got some value. Make it simple. Now there are two input texts. Now I want to refer to the value of second box. How do you refer? Both of them are input text only. But I want to refer to the value of second one. How do you refer? So I give id equal to 1. id equal to. So when I say I want to refer to this, I will say 2, referring to the element 2. Right, referring to the element 1. So what is that? id. It is a unique name to recognize the element in the programming. It is a unique name to recognize the element uniquely in the programming. Right. Then next we have show it. It is a boolean value. Show it is a boolean value. So what I was doing? So if I give show enter equal to, when I say show enter equal to, click on preview, page open, very good, standard header, standard sidebar. Header we got, the Salesforce header we got, sidebar we got. But when you say show header equal to false, when you say show header equal to false, then what happened? Salesforce header is not there, sidebar component is not there. Header is not there, sidebar component is not there. So what happened was, it is a boolean value. When you give it as 2, when set as 2, Salesforce standard it will start. When set as false, Salesforce standard then we are taking FX page sidebar. Let's say sidebar equal to false. When you say sidebar equal to false, show me the header, but don't show me sidebar. Previously there is a sidebar, but now what happened? Sidebar is there. What was the next element we have? When set as 2, Salesforce standard sidebar components. Sidebar components are displayed. Header means listen to the class box in the middle of the class. When set as 2, Salesforce standard sidebar components are displayed. When set as false, Salesforce standard sidebar components. Then next we have re-render, or else we can say render as. I want to see content of the page in the form of PDF. I want to generate the page in the form of PDF. I want to generate the content of the page in the form of PDF. Look at this. What is happening? We got output in the form of PDF page. If you want to see the content of the page in the form of PDF, we give it as render as. You want to generate content of the as PDF, we give render as PDF. So render as. If you want to generate the output of the page in the form of PDF, we give render as PDF. I want to see. Next one. setup. Setup. What do you mean by setup here? If you want to get the menu bar, set up course.com menu. You want to get a course.com menu. The side, you want to get a course.com menu. Look at this. Speech.course.com. This is the page what I created. From the left hand side, what are you finding? Course.com setup. When you give it as a true, it's a Boolean value. Set as true. Salesforce course.com menu will be displayed. Displayed on the default value is false. Then we have content type. What do you mean by content type? You want to generate content of the page in the form of Word document. You want to generate the content of the page in the form of Excel. You want to generate the content of the page in the form of image. Now look at the format. How to generate the same output in the form of Word document? I'm giving content type BND, view and display dot which format? MS Word hash my page dot view and display in the form of MS Word. What is the name of the file I gave? My document. Go back and see. This is a line. You got it in the form of what? Word document. You got it in the form of Word document. Right? How do you get it? How do you get it? BND MS Word. Word. How you get it? BND MS Word hash file name dot BND MS cell hash. This is how we are doing. Then next one here. Render. Render means what? Should it display or not? Render means it is a Boolean value. Boolean value. When set as true, content of the page will be displayed. Rendered. So I am giving it. Rendered. False. There is a rendered equal to false. Don't display this element. So what are you getting now? You are not able to see the page. Rendered equal to false. Don't render. Don't display. Don't display the page. Don't display the page. Then we are giving read only. If you want to set the content of the page for only read purpose, no edit, only for read, you cannot copy, then you will go for read only. What was that? What was this? It is a Boolean value. When set as true, content of the page. Right. Right. What are the elements we had? API version, ID, show header, sidebar, render as, setup. Now what is the default value we get? Default value 2. Right. Now we are going to standard controller. What is standard controller? If you want to refer to any one of the object, it's object in the VF page. So standard controller is what? S object means S object. It can be standard object or custom object. We'll discuss in detail when you go to the concept. If you want to refer to that object, if you want to refer to any object, any one of the database object, let's say standard object, account, contact, lead, customer, loan, payment, any of the standard object or custom object, then we define standard controller. Controller. If you want to use any effects class in the VF page, we will define effects class as the effects class as controller. Controller. If you want to refer to any one of the effects class in the VF page, then we are going to define the effects class as controller. Now, look at the attributes what we have. So we have API version. It is going to tell you which version of API we are using. ID. Every element should be recognized uniquely. The name what we gave to recognize uniquely is called ID. Then show header. Show header is what? It's a boolean value. Only the header element with the sidebar. Okay, header element with the sidebar components will be displayed. Sidebar. You want to only control sidebar. You don't want to show sidebar. Sidebar equal to false. Setup. You want to see the codes.com menu. You see setup. Render as. You want to generate the output in the form of PDF. Content type. You want to get in the form of Word or Excel. We say content type. Rendered. Should I display or not? Read only. The content of the page becomes readable. Standard controller. If you want to refer to the content of any one of the S object, if you want to refer to any one of the S object means Salesforce object. It can be a standard or custom. Controller is if you want to refer to any effects class. The first component what we have seen in the Salesforce. I hope you are clear. Alright, boss? Am I clear with this? This is the first element we have seen. So component, what is the first component? Apex page. Every VF page will start and end with the Apex page. Which version of API we are using? 41.0 we are using. Which version of API? 41.0. What is the extension of VF page? .vfp. Where the program is compiled? On the application server of course.com. On the application server of course.com. In how many ways we can create a Visual Force page? Standard navigation, developer console, URL, Eclipse. URL and Eclipse. Okay. Then how do you open any Visual Force page? How do you open? Salesforce.com/apex/page name. If the page is not existing, throw error. If it is existing, it will open. I hope I am clear. Any other queries? Clear for everyone? Clear? That's all from my end for the day. Continue the next session.